Now, reactions have continued to trail the demolition exercise carried out by the state government on property allegedly connected to cultism, kidnapping, and other crimes in Edo State. No fewer than 4 properties have gone down, including the national headquarters of the Neo Black Movement, located in Amagba axis of the GRA. The state government began the demolition of the property after signing the anti-cultism and kidnapping law as passed by the Edo State House of Assembly last month. Respondents faulted the exercise, accusing the governor of violating the principles of separation of powers.
We are dealing with a situation where people want to send signals, but it's more of, with all due respect, striking a pose. It's very, very unfortunate. Where we grew up to know that there's one big house at Iyaro. You know, talking about confraternities. I wonder when he's going to go to Iyaro to bring down the Ogboni. You know, I doubt that he will ever do that. So obviously, I imagine that there are several layers, you know, that one has to look at this issue. Because I also read in the papers that there's a hotel that has been marked for demolition too. Incidentally, the gentleman whose hotel we are talking about also hails from Amagba. Whether that is the connection between the demolition of the headquarters of the Neo Black Movement, you know, it's a matter of conjecture. But quite honestly, I think people should allow the judicial process to run its course before you start to visit punishment.
The NBM is an association, just like every other. We have sea dogs, we have different associations. You understand? You cannot use the crime of one association, one member of an association, to affect all members of that association. It's just like in NBA now. We have lawyers who are mischievous. That does not mean that. So if somebody who is a member of NBA commits kidnapping, will they come and destroy NBA Secretariat? That's what it means.
So why can the governor be the judiciary, the legislature, the jury, and everything at the same time? Why not have a committee? I can remember in this state when the issue of land grabbing was so much. The last administration set up a committee, judicial committee, to hasten instead of going to maybe the government was worried about the normal delayed justice, and they felt that something had to be done hastily. Because in spite of that, you must not go beyond your boundaries. Once you are doing this, litigation will be on ground. I cannot say because somebody is involved in this. Oh, number one, is it the owner of the building? Some of them are not the owner. Like the one he buried last time, the boy was involved. Father is the owner of the building. So why should I be destroyed, mitigated because of my father's my son? It's not done that way. So I think the governor should trace his step.
The governor of Edo State is doing the right thing for now, because if you look at what has been happening in Edo State for the past weeks, it is very alarming. The rates of kidnapping, killings. And if the government see that a particular building or anything they are using for this kidnapping and decide to bring it down, it's wonderful. I give him my 100% support.
National President of the Neo Black Movement of Africa, Olorogun Ese Kakor, and Kelvin Agbroko, National Secretary of the movement, now join us for more insight into the demolition in Edo State. Gentlemen, good afternoon and thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Well, let me start with Chief Kelvin. Now, we understand that, yes, this demolition happened in Edo State, and in your statement, you stated that it has some political undertones, if I recall vividly. What do you make of the demolition, and can you give us, a detailed recount of the events that led to the demolition?
Okay, it was on Wednesday, the 30th day of April, we heard the news that the National Secretariat of NBM of Africa was being demolished by the Edo State government. And we are made to understand that the state government derives its power from the newly enacted courtesy and other similar groups law of 2025, signed into law, I think sometime in February 2025. And Section 7, as it is in that law, provide for the penalty and also demolition of guest house, hotels, clubs, and other related premises. That law, I've seen it, it did not specify residential buildings, and the Secretariat of an association like that of NBM of Africa. Also, that law, as it is, offends the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because you cannot order demolition of a property owned by anybody without first and foremost being tried and convicted by a competent court of law. Like in this case, the government based its decision on mere suspicion. The government said this place is used for, suspected to be used for criminal activities, but there is no evidence from the government. No suspect was traced to the National Secretariat. Nothing was, criminality was found in the National Secretariat before the demolition was ordered. They have a security man who works and takes care of this secretariat. He has been there working for over 10 years. If the place harbors criminal activities, I don't think the man will be there for so long.
Okay, let me come to Olorogun now. I know that you have, in that statement again, you mentioned the fact that it could be due to the fact that some members of your organization belong to the opposition party. But you have had, according to what you said in that statement, you've had a good relationship with the governor in time past. What do you think went wrong in the course of the event?
Actually, I truly do not have a good relationship.
I mean, your organization, the NBM, you talked about some humanitarian services that you've done, yes, okay, even with the government of Edo State.
Yes, that's true. Sometime in February, we wrote to the Edo State government that we needed to carry out a back-to-school project on various schools, 12 schools, primary and secondary schools within Benin. And they wrote back to us and they gave us the names of the 12 schools we should visit. We should carry out our kind gestures, of which in less than a week, we renovated some schools. We gave them school desks, chairs, writing materials, the entire 12 schools. And the demolition truly has nothing to do with courtism, because NBM is not a court group. NBM is a registered association, organization that was vetted under the principles of Pan-Africanism and was founded in the year 1977, precisely the month of October, 16th of October, 1977. NBM as an organization is a humanitarian organization that also carries out, protects, preserves, and promotes African culture. The organization, for some time, there are some misconceptions or controversies surrounding the organization based on the wrong narratives that are out there. You can't give us a name not ascribed to us, calling us different. Severally, I've said...
So you agree that there are some misconceptions,
yes,
as regards the image of the organization out there?
Yes, based on the wrong narratives out there. People are really...
So would you entirely fault the move of the government under this secret cult and similar activities prohibition law 2025, under which the governor carried out the demolition? We
should be asking where he got his intelligence from, because I know no law enforcement agent will give out such false intelligence out to the governor. The governor was ill-advised because his actions were clueless and unwarranted.
Okay.
His actions were irrational.
Okay, Chief Kelvin,
Yes.
You mentioned that you would be taking some legal actions. That's the NBM. Can you bring us up to speed on some of the legal actions you've taken and where are we in all of this?
First and foremost, we have filed an action at the Federal High Court in Benin under the Fundamental Rights Enforcement Procedures to challenge the action of the state government because it has breached the right of the association to own property. The section 42 and 43 of the Constitution provide for ownership of property anywhere in Nigeria. The association is a body corporate that can own property. Also, the association was not given fair hearing before the demolition took place. Also, we are going to challenge the law, the section of the law the governor is deriving his power from in demolition properties, not only the property of NBM, but other properties that were demolished. For instance, there was one where the son was allegedly suspected of murdering a lady. The son is still under investigation. His father was the one who reported the case to the police. Before the conclusion of the investigation, the man's house was demolished. They ought to have charged the case to court, found guilty, and the court would thereafter make an order of demolition of forfeiture of the property. This did not happen before this demolition took place. Just as in the case of the NBM of Africa's Secretariat, no investigation was carried out. No suspects were traced to the property. No activity, however so-called, whether courtesy, kidnapping, or any other activity, was traced to the property by way of investigation or otherwise. The governor or the government of Edo State acted on impulse without investigation and without the case being first and foremost charged to court and determine whether the property or the owners of the property use it for criminal activities. Therefore, it's very, very unlawful for the state government to order demolition without giving fair hearing. So we are going to challenge that section of the law that empowers the state government to demolish properties without giving the owners fair hearing. Also, we are also going to court to file a case claiming damages. The property is worth more than 1.5 billion. We are going to claim Naira. We are going to claim both special and general damages. Special damages, we are going to itemize all the properties owned that we are contained therein. They will quantify then also the cost of erecting that building to the final stage. That building was completed in 2022. We are going to quantify all and claim special damages. And they have denied all the use of that secretariat. So we're also going to claim general damages against this state government.
All right, a lot of claims there. But you mentioned that you've tried to get the attention of the government. What has the response been like?
The matter is already in court, so I don't even need the attention.
You don't need the attention?
I don't need the attention of the state government. I already need the law to take his to take his own place, you know. The governor has acted on impulse, and that particular facility has 24 CCTV cameras. If he's working, if truly he got his intelligence from the right people, they should have requested for those CCTV footages to know if that facility is being used for activities as he claims. So the case is already in court, and the Federal High Court Benin will take his own decision ruling on the issue. And we want to appeal that we will continue to work with the security agencies to curb out criminalities wherever we find ourselves. The organization has over 100 zones in Nigeria, and each of these zones have their own secretariat. So I wonder why you will leave the secretariat owned by the zone in Benin to go and destroy the international secretariat. These particular boys you claim are courtists, you patronize them.
How do you mean?
He patronizes them, he gives them money. He patronizes them during their elections. Once his elections, they will use them, and after using them, they They will come back to claim that the same boys are members of an organization. These particular people you patronize, I don't know them. You've never contacted the leadership of the organization to find out if truly these persons you patronize are members of the organization. So why would you go to the international secretariat to demolish? In Edo State, we have over 12 secretariats owned by the local zones. Even in his own Ishan land, we have a zone there, and there's a secretariat. Why didn't you destroy that one?
Oh, well, that would be for the governor to answer. But let me come to you, Chief Kelvin. Let's talk more on the political undertones that you claim have led to this demolition.
Okay, we have members of the organizations that are members of different political parties. Particularly in Edo State, we have members who are in the opposition party. Like, apart from the National Secretariat being demolished, two properties belonging to members of the organization were marked for demolition. And these members are in the opposition party. So, and the demolition of the Secretariat flow from the malice held against these two prominent members of the opposition party. For instance, the houses marked for demolition belong to them, and they know that they are members of the organization. Not just members, notable members of the organization, and they are also notable members of the society, responsible members of the society. The malice flow from their membership of the opposition party in Edo State. So it ought not to have been extended to the organization, even extended to their personal property without proper investigation. Because they are claiming that they use their houses and hotels to hold meetings, to launch criminal activities. They ought to have carried out investigation and ascertained this a fact before coming to the conclusion and ordering the said demolition. No.
Okay, Olorogun, we were talking earlier about the perception of the group or your organization, the negative perception that it has. How do you intend to correct this? Because this could also lead to, further issues in the future. Even if you maybe scale this particular issue and you win the case in court, how do you intend to correct that negative perception that your organization has out there?
The organization, the activities of the organization is open to everybody. In the last 3-4 years, every of our activities are being monitored by the security agencies, most especially the Department of State Security. The last meeting we had at Ebonyi, we had 4 DSS personnel inside the meeting. Okay. We were part of it. In the year 2022, we had our convention in Benin, where DSS members were part of the meeting to monitor proceedings there. Our activities are open. Our aims and objectives we've been carrying out. People are making money out of probably chasing clout, using the name of the organization to chase clout and make money for themselves. If you go to the internet, you put NBM of Africa, you will see over 200 sites. If you go to TikTok, over 1,000, all making money out of the name.
Illegitimate sites.
Illegitimate sites.
So what do you intend to do to correct that?
There's nothing we can do about that. It's left. We've written so many petitions to the Nigerian police to investigate these persons. But yet, nothing has happened.
Okay, on that note, we'll leave it. We just hope that the hand of the law is able to, clear up this.
On that, we on our own, we are trying as much as possible to change the narrative
All right,
to members of the public. And we'll be working on that continuously.
All right, thank you so much, Olorogun Kakor, National President, NBM Africa. And also a very big thank you to you, Chief Kelvin Agbroko, National Secretary, NBM Africa.